Have a second informational presentation coming from the Housing and Land Use Committee from the New York City Office of Code Enforcement, or Office of Special Enforcement, and they're going to be addressing something very important as regulations regarding Airbnb. So I'll be introducing that item. Third informational presentation is coming from the Parks, Art and Culture Committee, and that will be regarding Juneteenth. We're going to have 3 public hearings tonight. First one coming from the Transportation, Sanitation, and Environment Committee regarding the proposed bus lane on Malcolm X Boulevard.
I got you.
Then we have 2 public hearings regarding SLA applications coming from the Economic Development Committee. The public hearings will be followed by community announcements. If you haven't filled out card, you have cards in the back. Following community announcements, we have the roll call for the board members. We have quite a number that are out, some that are updates and resolutions. Followed by action on the public hearing. We're going to be voting on the 3 public hearings. Followed by the chairperson's report. Followed by acceptance of the February 3rd, 2020 minutes, and then we will adjourn. So I'm going to start with remarks from the chair. First of all, I just would like to say, please keep Mr. Henry Butler and his family in your prayers as he mourns the passing of his father-in-law, who passed away in February. Also, on behalf of Community Board 3, I'd like to, I don't think Reverend Dr. Waterman's here right now, but I wanted to congratulate him on this recent occasion of his 18th anniversary as pastor of Antioch Baptist Church. I'm going to just briefly report on some of the activities that I've been involved with since the last meeting. First thing, the reopening of the Bedford Avenue A-train entrance. For those of you who aren't aware, there was a press conference a few weeks ago with State Senator Governor Montgomery and Assemblymember Tremaine Wright regarding the reopening of the Bedford Avenue entrance of the Nostrand Avenue station on the AC line. I was able to attend that press conference, gave some brief remarks. The Bedford Avenue entrance has been closed for more than 30 years. Given the population increases in recent years, the entrances at Nostrand Avenue are highly congested, as anyone that takes that train line in the morning knows. It's highly congested, especially during rush hours. And in addition to that, there is new development that's going to add hundreds of dwelling units, literally taking place right above the station entrance at Fulton Street and Bedford Avenue. There are 2 buildings. They're going to add several hundred units. So the project is going to be done totally internally with the labor unions that are already working for the Transit Authority. The project is supposed to be open by the end of this year, and it's going to include some security enhancements, such as cameras, as well as new turnstiles. And in addition, there was a passageway that allowed transit users to cross over from the Manhattan-bound platform to the Queens-bound platform. So that crossover is going to be reopened as well. So I'd like to publicly thank Senator Montgomery and Assemblymember Wright for providing approximately $2 million that will make this project a reality. I also want to commend the leadership of the Transportation Committee of Community Board 3, Mr. Gregory Glasgow. Is Gregory?
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Gregory Glasgow, as well as the Vice Chair Felicia Alexander, as well as District Manager Henry Butler, for their persistent advocacy regarding the reopening of closed train entrances that exist throughout Community Board 3. Couple of other items. We had a meeting at the Borough President's office a couple of weeks ago. The Borough President's office called all of the board chairs and district managers to Brooklyn to a meeting to review procedures and documentation regarding staff pay increases. In addition to myself, in attendance at the meeting were District Manager Henry Butler and Assistant District Manager Beryl Nyack. But Community Board 3, we're in compliance with those guidelines as we follow our bylaws regarding personnel matters, and everything is done out in the open. So we don't have any issues. February 15th, I was one of the presenters at the Brownstones annual meeting. The focus of the presentation was on major capital projects and quality of life issues in Bedford Stuyvesant. The borough board meeting, every month there's a borough board meeting that takes place at Brooklyn Borough Hall. I was joined at that meeting by Second Vice Chair Simone Pratt. The borough board consists of all of the community board chairs in Brooklyn, as well as the council members. The public is welcome to attend. We had 2 items on the agenda in the borough board meeting. First was a presentation from New York City Transit on redesign of the bus network. Main goals of the study are to increase frequency and decrease travel time for the buses, improve service reliability, and improve connectivity and ease of use. I don't think there's been any major change in the bus system for about 40 or 50 years. So this is the first time in decades that they're looking to actually redesign the system. So the Transit Authority is going to continue to do outreach as they finalize their redesign plan in the coming months. The second item on the agenda for the borough board was a presentation from the New York State Nurses Association regarding the State Safe Staffing for Quality Care Act. The Nurses Association would like to have uniform minimum nursing staffing levels at hospitals to be implemented on a statewide basis. They've been lobbying the city council and the state legislature. They also came to Community Board 3 several months ago. We had voted to support their resolution for state staffing. At the borough board meeting, the borough board also voted to support the Nurses Association resolution. Just a couple of other items. Mr. Butler and myself, February 18th, we met with Gregory Anderson. I think he's here from Bridge Street. Mr. Anderson, from Executive Director of Bridge Street Development Corp., as well as staff, members, and board representatives, including the board chair for Bridge Street, Mr. Edward Odom. The purpose was to establish a dialogue to see how Bridge Street development could better meet community needs. I also participated in a meeting on February 10th, along with the Housing and Land Use Chair, C. Dawes Pinn, and the Housing and Land Use First Vice Chair, Ellen Miller, District Manager Henry Butler, Richard Bierak, who is Land Use Director for the Borough President's Office, and we met with Councilmember Olivia Samuel and the Chief of Staff to discuss the HPD Bedford Stuyvesant Housing Initiative. We met at one of the potential sites, which is 1958 Fulton Street. That site, and I'm not sure if somebody from Landry's can talk about this more, but that site will not be part of the RP that will be coming out shortly. But we did want to get together to make sure we had a consistent vision about priorities that should be addressed in HPD's RFP, which is one of the last sources of vacant land in Ward 3 will be through this RFP that will be coming out shortly. Finally, just kind of a housekeeping thing. According to our bylaws, we're required to move our meetings twice a year to different locations. So for our April meeting, which will be April 6th, we're going to have our meeting at the Brooklyn Job Corps, which is located at 585 DeKalb Avenue, corner of Nostrand Avenue. So that concludes my remarks. We're going to move on to acknowledgement of elected officials and community partners. So if you could please be ready in this order, and you can keep remarks to 2 minutes, please. So we're going to start with the representative from Mayor de Blasio's office, Jamila Fines, followed by Jabril Jalak from Public Advocate Jamani Williams' office, followed by Shelton Jones from Brooklyn District Attorney Eric Gonzalez's office, followed by Jacqueline Williams and Joseph Grant from Councilmember Cornegy's office, followed by Naomi Hopkins from Councilmember Alika Anthony Samuel's office, followed by Lucian. Where's Lucian? Lucian from Assemblymember Walter Williams' office. So we're going to start with Jamila Fines.
Thank you, Dr. Butler. So good evening. My name is Jamila Fines from the Mayor's Office of Community Affairs. I just have 2 quick announcements. One is that I know everybody is probably aware of the plastic bag ban now that has been in effect as of yesterday. My office has been working closely with a lot of electeds to make sure that they receive reusable bags to give out to the community. If you feel like you have not been receiving anything, please feel free to reach out to my email address so that I can make sure that your elected gets some bags for you, because we have to do it through the elected. My email is jfines, JF as in Frank, Y, N as in Nancy, ES, at cityhall.nyc.gov. And my number, which I encourage people to text also when they call, is 646-659-7630. And then the last announcement is that there has been 1 positive case with the coronavirus. If you are feeling sick, please feel free to reach out to the Department of Health. I have the number right here. 347-396-7990. I know I don't have that much time, but feel free to email me or call me for more information as well on updates in regards to that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, good evening, everybody. My name is Jabril Jallo. I'm with New York City Public Advocate Office. 2 really quick things. Number 1, Census 2020. Can't stress this enough. We say this every time I have a committee board meeting. Talk about billions and billions of federal dollars and representation. So please, I know there's a rep here, I believe Nate. Please see them and get information. They're paying, I think, about $28 or $34 an hour. Please share the word on that. And number 2, we're doing a second mayoral reform info session in Brownsville. This month, March 18th, 6:30 to 8:30. We'll share that information with the community board. Of course, when our folks come home, we have to make sure they have the resources to stay home. So I'll send that information out. Thank you so much, everybody.
For those of you standing in the back, there's a bunch of chairs over there. Anybody like to see?
And those who are doing announcements, everybody else come this way to the front doing the announcements.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Shelton Jones. I'm here representing Brooklyn District Attorney Eric Gonzalez. I bring you greetings for him. I have two very brief announcements. At the end of last month, February, we announced that there was a Long Island man who was sentenced up to 4.5 years in prison for forging a deed and a scheme to steal a brownstone right here in Brooklyn from an elderly homeowner. He pleaded guilty, so there wasn't a trial. He pleaded guilty. The judge gave him up to a 4.5 year sentence, and he has to pay restitution in the amount of $850,000. So this gentleman was convicted of this crime and will do his time in prison. Also, on April 4th, we will be holding a gun buyback in conjunction with the NYPD. The gun buyback will be held, that's a Saturday, from 10 to 4 p.m. We will have two different locations, one in South Brooklyn and one in North Brooklyn. I believe it's going to be Emmanuel Baptist Church, but I'm not sure yet, so I don't want to give that information out. But as soon as it is solidified, I will get the flyer over to the district manager and all over so people can participate in this gun buyback and spread the information. You get up to $200 for a firearm, and you get $25 gift card if you hand in a rifle or a shotgun. Again, that will be April 4th on a Saturday from 10 to 4 p.m. in two different locations. If you want any additional information from me, please feel free to reach out. My number is 718-250-3146. Again, 718-250-3146. If you don't leave a message, I don't know you called and I can't get back in touch with you. Also, you can follow us further on our website, www.brooklynda.org. That's www.brooklynda.org. And the DA loves to Twitter, and his handle is @BrooklynDA. Thank you. God bless. Have a great night.
His son's in West Side Story on Broadway.
To my board members, your voices carry. And when you think you're whispering, your voices are carrying, and we're trying to record, so anybody looking at us right now, they cannot hear the people speaking. So just keep that in mind, your voices are carrying.
Okay, so it's gonna be Jacqueline Wilson and Joseph Grant. Okay, Jacqueline Williams, followed by Lucian Allen. Followed by Naomi Hopkins, followed by Lucian Allen, followed by Elizabeth Adams from Councilmember Stephen Levin's office, followed by Maceo Fareed from Assemblymember Tremaine Wright's office.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Jacqueline Wright Williams. I'm the office manager and scheduler for Councilmember Robert E. Kennedy Jr. I just wanted to bring greetings on his behalf and on behalf of our office. The New York City Council participatory budgeting season is here. If you have any questions with regards to how to participate, you can contact our office at 718-919-0740, and you can speak to Mr. Sean Francis. There is a participatory budgeting poster making workshop this coming Saturday, March 7th at Restoration Plaza at 1360 Fulton Street, 5th floor gallery from 12 noon to 3 p.m. In addition, Councilmember Carnegie, along with the Commission for Human Rights, presents Brooklyn Loves Africa. There will be a fashion show featuring Mashu, and the event is taking place on Thursday, March 5th, at the Brooklyn Children's Museum at 145 Brooklyn Avenue from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. And in honor of March being Women's History Month, we have a Meet the Judges panel, and I believe Judge Shears is here in the house as well. She will be one of the judges. Actually, she's going to be hosting and facilitating this event. This event is in conjunction with Pastor Dingle of 79th Precinct Clergy Council, Dr. Kim Best, 79th Precinct Community Council, Pastor Kevin Osborne, 81st Precinct Clergy Council, and Daniel Fisher of 81st Precinct Community Council. This event, Meet the Judges, is taking place on Monday, March 16th at 6:30 p.m. here at Restoration Plaza at 1360 Fulton Street, and it's taking place on the 5th floor. If you have any questions about any of the announcements that have been presented on this evening, feel free to contact myself, Jacqueline Williams, at 718-919-0740. Everyone have a blessed evening.
Good evening, Naomi Hopkins from Councilmember Alika Anthony Samuel's office. I don't want to repeat a lot of the announcements that were already made, but in regards to the plastic bag ban, I do have left 15 reusable bags. If anyone needs them, I will put them on. Okay, so I'm gonna put them on the table outside. So 15 of them. On my way out. Thank you.
Thank you. Motion Allen?
Good evening, everyone. Again, my name is Lucian Allen. I'm the community liaison for Assemblyman Walter Mosley. No upcoming events, but the Assemblyman did have his State of the District 2020, so I don't know if anybody here was able to see that or participate in the event. So I hope those that did go were able to enjoy the night. Just definitely want to reiterate the importance of the census. I left information out on the table regarding that. I'm sure everybody knows that census is hiring. I think it was $28 an hour. So definitely if people, also found out that the income is not eligible to be, can affect somebody's rent. So people, if anybody was concerned about that, as far as that being extra income and that interfering with their ability to continue remaining in their housing, definitely gonna need to worry about that. Also, the information is protected under Title 13, so definitely please ensure that everybody you know is going to fill out that census. That'll make sure the resources that we have for our community are given to us, so it's part of what we deserve. So if there are any issues that you need me to relay back to the Assemblyman, feel free to come talk to us, talk to me rather. The number at the office is 718-596-0100, and that's 718-596-0100. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Elizabeth Adams. I work for Councilmember Stephen Levin. Happy Women's History Month, everyone. Happy Black History Month. Keeping it going, too. And we have one big announcement that I want to let everyone know about tonight, which is next Saturday. Very exciting at 12 p.m. We're doing a street co-naming and plaque unveiling for Miss Ida B. Wells, who lived in Brooklyn for 8 years, when she was leading her anti-lynching and journalism crusade. So we're really excited to co-name a street for Ida B. Wells. Her family members are going to be here, as well as Miss Nicole Hannah-Jones is going to be speaking, Eljoy Williams is going to be speaking, and historian Dr. Paula Giddings, as well as the borough president and the council member and other elected officials as well. So we would love to have you all join us. In addition to naming the streets, we're going to have a plaque on the building so that we can make sure that people are continuing to learn the history and we're keeping her legacy going for information and education of our communities. So I want to let everyone know about that tonight, and thank you all. Have a great evening. Oh, and there's a bunch of flyers out front so everyone can grab one. It's on Gold and Myrtle. Thanks.
Okay, following Maceo Kareem, we're gonna have Ian Hanson from New York City Census, followed by Dave Taylor from Bedford South Restoration Corps, followed by Shaquille Coffin from the New York City Small Business Services, followed by Nicholas Stevens from Dalmar Energy Solutions.
Good evening, my name is Maceo, and I represent the Assemblywoman Tremaine Wright's office. Assemblywoman Tremaine Wright sends her greetings from Albany. I have two pieces of information to share with you tonight. Here in New York State, we are trying to establish a cease and desist zone, which would prohibit speculators and other aggressive buyers from contacting you via mail, phone, or coming to your door. Please help us to stop all of this harassment by putting a cease and desist incident report. The second matter is a package of past consumer protections. Member Wright has a bill which has been included into the governor's budget, and we want to make sure it stays in. It creates a standard to protect consumers against unfair deception and abuse of financial practices, including those that affect student loans, mortgage, and deed theft. Please sign our letter of support. Additionally, I have flyers on the table about the census, Department of Labor assistance, hours at our office, and parking calendars. Thank you. Have a good day. Oh, by the way, sorry. Our office number is 718-399-7630. Thank you. Have a great evening.
Good evening, everybody. How's everybody doing? Great. So my name is Ian Hansen. I am with NYC Census 2020, which is the city census outreach team. Obviously, you guys are seeing a pattern here tonight, right? Census comes March 12th, so everybody be on the lookout in your household between March 12th and March 20th. Everybody's going to get something in the mail. But what you may not know is that Bed-Stuy has one of the lowest response rates to the census in the entire nation. We're talking 48% response rate. We can do so much better than that. Because what's on the line? Billions and billions of dollars for our schools, our hospitals, our roads, Social Security, affordable housing. Everything is on the line, as is representation. But when we're talking about bread and butter issues like education and healthcare, it all comes down to the census. And we need to start talking to each other. We need to start talking to our neighbors, the people in our church, our mosque, our synagogue, on our street. Because if we go together, we can do a lot, right? We can turn other. We need to start talking to our neighbors, the people in our church, our mosque, our synagogue, on our street. Because if we go together, we can do a lot, right? We can turn up the Brooklyn NAACP leading the charge here. And a young man who I'm going to be introducing right now, Nate from Bedford Restoration, will talk about what you can do to get involved with the efforts to make sure that your neighborhood gets counted. One last thing, I would like to invite all of you to a big event. We are launching the Neighborhood Organizing Census Committee for this part of Brooklyn on next Tuesday from 6 to 8, actually at Bedford Restoration, okay? 6 to 8 at Bedford Restoration. We're going to be talking to concerned citizens from North and Central Brooklyn about how you can get involved. And I'm going to hand this over to Nate now because I'll keep talking forever. But census, everybody, please pay attention. We can do this together, okay? Thank you so much.
I love the plug. I love the plug. I love it.
Stop that enthusiasm.
I love it. Hello, everyone. Happy Monday to y'all. I hope everyone is doing phenomenal today. I bring a lot of energy, so hopefully I can work on at least being a little bit more energized today. But just with after the shameless plug, I appreciate you. Multi-billion dollars for the 2020 census. This is my first year filling out myself. However, over 650 billion to be exact, and very little of that is going to Bed-Stuy. About 48% roughly. However, in 2010, Washington Heights, they got their number up to 77%, and they were awarded 3 extra schools. So considering the schools and the resources that we're so desperately wanting and complaining about, this is why it's so important. And so I've already handed out a few of these, but you've received a card like this, blue card. This is a pledge card. When you fill this out, you also get an opportunity to win an iPad and a few other prizes that are also being put together. So this is extremely important. Also, the census, it takes 10 minutes, 10 questions for the next 10 years. This is not only just including you, but this is also including your kids. People will also come into Bed-Stuy, people that maybe your family, your friends, what have you. It's not just about you. And historically speaking, there's a lot of people, specifically underrepresented groups like Black people, Black and brown bodies, not particularly cared about or really sought to be counted. However, there's a huge initiative for being able to get everyone counted because they're willing to invest more money into us. So this is my first year. I'm very excited about it. Hopefully I can add a little bit more excitement to people who've already done it for years and years already. Hopefully this will be another year that you can support. So y'all have a great night, Nate Taylor. And with these cards, there is a table at the very front. Fill these out and leave them there. The information will be for me and my team only. This information will not be given to any other group. Protected by Title, I believe you mentioned 13, I believe. This information is just for us and just for our eyes only. So your information is protected. And if you have any other questions, there's also a sheet. You can also speak to me afterwards. Y'all have a great evening.
Thank you, Mr. Taylor. Shaquille Cochran, followed by Nicholas Stevens. While they're coming up, I just wanted to acknowledge Police Officer Charles. Police Officer Charles still here?
Dr. Hall, here.
Okay, and Detective Conrad Narcisse, Detective Narcisse here, from the 81st Precinct, as well as Police Officer Barnes from the 81st Precinct.
If y'all do fill out the form, and he just talking about that, that's not the census form. Okay? That's not the census form.
Hello, good evening, everyone. How's everyone doing tonight? My name is Shaquille Cochran. I'm from New York City Department of Small Business Services. I am the External Affairs Associate. Today, I would like to talk to you all about MWBE certification, which stands for Minority and/or Women Business Enterprise. The purpose of the certification is so that the City of New York can be inclusive of small businesses that are owned by minority and/or women. From in 2015, Mayor Bill de Blasio, it was a high profile initiative of Mayor Bill de Blasio where he announced that the City of New York will be spending $20 billion by 2025. So anyone who's interested in MWB certification, you can feel free to contact me. I'll provide you with my phone number now. The number is 212-513-9268. Once again, it's 212-513-9268. So major eligibility requirements for MWBE certification is that your business be at least 1 year in operation, that it's 51% owned or operated by minority and/or women, and that you're operating in the New York City or the surrounding counties. I also wanted to add on March 18th, SBS will be doing an RV in the Pitkin Avenue bid, where we will be helping our small business owners start the application process or troubleshoot some of the issues that you may have while completing the application. And if you contact me, I'll be more than happy to send you the information. So everyone have a great night and hope to hear from you soon.
Thank you. Following Nicholas Stevens, we're gonna have Nicholas Perry from Controller Scott Stringer's office, be followed by representatives from the Macon branch of the Brooklyn Public Library, Paul Bryant, Marsha McGibbon, followed by Dan Fisher from the 81st Precinct Council, followed by Gregory Anderson from Bridge Street Development.
How you doing? Nicholas Stevens, and I'm working with the Office of Brooklyn Borough President. And what happened is the Office of Brooklyn Borough President received a grant from the state of New York. And that's a grant to help the Bedford Stuyvesant community become more energy efficient. So there's 3 components to this grant. The 3 components are, first is that, to the mic. Oh, sorry. We're looking to bring awareness to homeowners in the Bedford Stuyvesant community on clean heating and cooling systems. These are systems like what they call mini split systems, provide heating and cooling in one system. They're ductless, so they work great in brownstones. And also, we want to talk to you about the rebates and incentives out there that can help you to really bring the cost down for these systems. The second component to this is we're providing free energy assessments to your home. So we come out, take a look at your home, tell you where you might need some installation, tell you where there's drafts coming from. We help you become more efficient that way. Also, the third component is this is a growing industry, and we need people who are looking to go into this industry, to work in this industry. So we're providing free training
for anyone who might be interested in coming into the industry. We're gonna do about 3 classes with sales, installation, and maintenance. So this is a great program that we're looking to do in this community, and we're focusing on the Bedford Stuyvesant community because of the home stock and because how this can really help you as far as being energy efficient. So if you're interested in this, I'll be out in the hallway. I have some information out there. I have some little things to give away. If you're interested and want to sign up, just give me a call. Nick Stevens. Thank you.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. My name is Nicholas Perry. I'm a representative for the New York City Comptroller, Scott Stringer. I have one announcement for you tonight, and that's about Women's History Month. March is Women's History Month, and I'd like to extend an invitation to everyone here to the Comptroller's event. It's going to be on Thursday, March 12th, 2020, at the American Museum of Natural History. This is going to be an amazing event. If you plan on attending, I'm just asking that you RSVP so that we have enough food and refreshments for everyone. It's going to be in the Coleman Hall of the Universe, and the event will be from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. If anyone would like to get in touch with the New York City Comptroller's office, you can reach out to me directly. My cell number is 646-499-0749. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Good evening, everybody. How y'all doing tonight? I'd like to quickly ask all the ladies, women in the room to please stand up for a moment, please. All the women in the room to please stand up for a brief moment. Yes. Come on, ladies. You too. Now, I'd like all the men and everyone else in the room to please stand and applaud all the women in the room. Women's History Month. These are the backbone of our community. These women run this show, and we know that. And I want to honor them tonight. You know, this is kind of your time, right? I do, but for the women, it's worth it, and I'll take my 30 seconds.
I hope your wife is looking at this.
Well, who knows? Good evening again, everybody. I'm Daniel G. Fisher, the president of the 81st Precinct Community Council, and I just give you greetings on this Tuesday here in March, Women's History Month. We had a wonderful Black History Month this past February with some great events. We hope to have a great Women's History Month. We're starting it off now with a bang. Our meeting is next Tuesday, March 10th at 7 p.m. at 1958 Fulton Street, which is the Multi-Service Center. That's 7 p.m. 1958 Fulton Street, next Tuesday, March 10th. Some topics that we definitely will be discussing is the recent rash of grand larceny auto thefts that we've had, or break-ins, really. So combined with the 79th precinct, the 81st precinct, we're on top of the issue, come out and hear exactly what we're doing about it. And also bail reform, we're gonna be talking about that to a certain degree. I also like to have our special guest at the Department of Transportation. So I had Shaka Khan sing I'm Every Woman, because one, it didn't work well if I sang it, and it just didn't work right. So thank you again very much. I hope to see you all next Tuesday, March 10th. Have a nice evening.
That was hilarious.
Next.
Good evening, everyone. Hi, my name is Nicole Bryan. I'm the branch manager of the Macon branch at the Brooklyn Public Library. And just a few announcements from Macon. We are having free tax help on Mondays from 11 to 5 and Saturdays from 11 to 3, so you can come in and get your taxes done for free. We are also having our Read Across Brooklyn program with some of our special guests, which are our community officers, Officer Torres and Officer Stanford, so thank you very much. They're gonna come in and read to our children and families this Friday at 11:30 a.m. And we also have the 28th Amendment Project. We're having a town hall this Friday on March 5th at 6:30, where we could come in and discuss our topics that we think should be in the 28th Amendment. Okay, so you come in, it's a huge town hall, so please come and see us. And also census, understand that Brooklyn Public Library is an access point for you to come in and fill out your census. So come on in, we'll be able to help you and guide you through it. We have navigators that will come into that, will be able to help you.
Hi, my name is Marcia. I'm the branch manager at the Marcy branch. Quickly again, the library is definitely here to help you with the census. Please use the library. With all branches, we'll be trying to help you as well. Someone mentioned minority business report, business programs. The library also helps you to plan and invest, so check it out. The Marcy branch will be having a free tax helper March 5th. March 5th, 5:15, free tax help. And I've left all the stuff that we're doing at our branch out front, calendars, etc. Please do come down and see us. Please use the library, please use the library, please use the library.
All right, thank you. So, our next to last speaker will be Gregory Anderson, Executive Director of Bridge Street Development. And the last speaker will be the Honorable Betty State.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
And I'm Gregory Anderson with Bridge Street Development. And first, on behalf of the board and staff of Bridge Street, I'd like to thank the Community Board Chair, Mr. Plateau, and District Manager, Mr. Butler, for coming to our office to take time from their busy day for us to reaffirm our commitment to the community and to have a discussion on what are the things we need to do to best serve the community. So we hope to continue that discussion with all of you. Just one quick announcement. We are now taking applications for our summer youth employment program. We are employing young people ages 16 to 21. There are flyers outside. They can apply online. Last summer, we employed over 350 young people and placed them with jobs throughout the community. If you are a business owner and you need some young people to help with your business, stop by our office and we can help place young people with your business. There are 2 flyers. Please, if you're going to have your young people sign up, have them designate Bridge Street as the site that they will be based out of. Bridge Street is the only summer youth employment program located in Bedford, and we are the only program of color in Brooklyn. So that's just one of the ways you're looking to be of service, and we'll keep coming and doing more. Thank you. Thank you very much. Our address is 460 Nostrand. We are on Jefferson. It's right up the block. Thank you. 718-399-0146.
Okay, last but not least, the Honorable Betty State.
Yes, good evening, everyone. I just have one short announcement. I am the president of the Brooklyn Legal Services. I want you all to know, I'm going to repeat that we have relocated. Our new address is 29 Albany Avenue. That's on the corner of Nostrand and Albany in the new building on the 2nd floor. Now, Fulton and Albany, on the corner of Fulton and Albany. Fulton and Albany. Also, I just wanted to clarify something. There is another legal services up the block from us called Brooklyn Legal Services, but they're Corpay. They are not us, okay? Because some people are getting confused. Even one of our council people gave them our money 1 year. But anyway, I want to clarify that. We are Brooklyn Legal Services. We have actually 3 offices. The Best Buy office is at 29 Albany. Then we have another office at 105 Court Street. And then we have another office in Brownsville at St. Mark's and Eastern Parkway. The number to call if you need help, you have to call the hotline, 917-661-4500. And I have all these stuff because I got them from outside and I take them to my office. So that the community will know what's going on.
Thank you, Judge Staley. So we're gonna move the agenda. The next item will be the district manager's report to be given by Mr. Henry Love.
Good evening, everyone. Try to go through this quick. I know we are behind schedule. For those who just came in, next month's meeting will be at the Brooklyn Job Corps. That flyer is out there. Next month's meeting will be at the Brooklyn Job Corps. That is the April 6th meeting, 585 DeKalb, corner of Nostrand Avenue. I'm going to read a statement from the mayor pertaining to the coronavirus. Today, the FDA approved our application to develop our own test for the coronavirus. That is not the only good news. After asking the CDC for weeks, they have finally sent us new kits that will allow us to run the CDC's test locally. This means we will soon, within the coming week, have the ability to get the results back in a matter of hours, not days. Quick detection is vital to stopping the spread of the virus, and this development will help the experts do their job to protect New Yorkers. That's from the mayor's statement this afternoon on the coronavirus. Also, this Saturday, Community Board 3 will be the guest speakers at the Bridge Street Monthly Alliance meeting. That's this flyer. It will be our housing land use chairs, Ms. Penn, Ms. Pratt, Ellen Miller, Mr. Flateau, and myself. We will be talking about housing in CD3 and all the housing that is coming to CD3 and any other housing topic. And speaking of housing, the yellow form is my district manager's report. On the item number 1, HPD, they're supposed to release the RFP for the following properties in April. The property that's on Saratoga and Fulton, Howard East, and Myrtle between Marcy and Nostrand. I think was stated earlier, HPD, they're looking to expand the footprint of the Bedford Housing Initiative property next to the multi-service building, but that RFP is not coming out as of yet. Also, out there is a form. This form has all the housing that's coming on the front and the back of it. And very quickly, this is housing that's not built yet, but will be built in the next 3 to 5 years. I'm gonna do my little 2-second census connect with this. We only have participation of 50%, which means we only got 50% of our money from the 2010 census, okay? If we do that again, we only get 50% of our money, and remember, these people are not here yet. That's gonna be living in all this housing. So instead of really 50% participation and 50% of our money, we're gonna probably get about 25%, but this is gonna be thousands of people that are going to be living in Bedford, Stuyvesant, who will not be filling out the census, because it's not gonna be finished by April 1st. This is coming in the next 3 to 5 years. So keep that in mind. This form is out there. Please take a look at it, see all the housing. This is the housing that comes to the community board. This ain't all the private development. This is what comes to the community board, but not everything comes to us. The last thing I'm going to speak on my report, I have the HPD project, the MTA, which Mr. Plateau mentioned, and the sanitation garage. Someone on social media made a statement, they're only reopening the Bedford entrance because of gentrification. I was personally offended by that because that happened because of the work of this board. Sometimes we give people power that they don't have. So I've been on this board since 2006, and yes, we do win sometimes. As a matter of fact, a lot of times. From the rezoning that we've done, from the elevators at the train station, from the reconstruction of Nostrand Avenue, to the garage finally, to station being reopened, that did not happen because of gentrification. That happened because of the hard work of these board members and you, the community. That's why that happened, not gentrification. So please, let's stop selling ourselves short and stop giving power to people that really don't have it. Yes, you have to stay in the fight, but don't be afraid to be in the fight. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Butler. We have three informational presentations. We have a very long agenda tonight, so we're going to start. First informational presentation is coming from the Health and Social Service Committee and will be introduced by the chair of that committee, Edna Johnson.
Good evening, everybody. It gives me great pleasure to introduce to you all the CEO of Woodhull Hospital. I am Community Voice 3 representative on their CAPS committee. Now, I just want to say, you remember the days when we used to call it Wood King? Does anybody remember that? Well, now we're called Good Hall. That's the new name, Good Hall. Come on now. And there's a lot of things that you don't know, and we're going to try to fill you in on all the new things that are happening at Woodhull, all the good things that are happening in our community. But I want to introduce to you the CEO of Woodhull Hospital, Mr. Gregory Calise.
So good evening, everybody. Again, my name is Greg Calise. I'm the CEO of Woodhull Hospital. I've held that position for 4 years. And I want to also introduce Jessica Rocho, who is you can hear me? I also want to introduce Jessica Rocho, who is the Director of Community Affairs for Woodhull Hospital. So Woodhull Hospital is one of the 11 hospitals of New York City Health and Hospitals Corporation. And Woodhull has actually been, it was opened in 1982, and it has been therefore, known as a member of the community for that long. We are actually affiliated with New York University Medical School, so all of the physicians and the physician assistants and a lot of the clinical staff are actually employees of NYU. Our mission is, again, to provide the best healthcare to all, regardless of the ability to pay. So we see everybody, like private hospitals that see people and turn them away, we see everyone. Our vision is to be a model hospital and a hospital of choice for North Brooklyn. So our main service area is Bed-Stuy, Bushwick, Williamsburg, and Greenpoint. Our main goals are excellent patient care, excellent patient satisfaction, excellent staff satisfaction, excellent community satisfaction, and fiscal viability. And we have done well in terms of accomplishing those goals. So let me just talk about some of the services that we have at Woodhull. Comprehensive services, both inpatient and outpatient. So inpatient, we actually licensed for 354 beds, and we provide all clinical services, all specialties. In inpatient services, we see approximately 10,000 patients, inpatients on a yearly basis. Most of our bedrooms or patient rooms are private rooms. Most people don't know that, but most of our patient rooms are private rooms, so people do have privacy and confidentiality as an inpatient. We also provide comprehensive outpatient services, both primary care as well as specialty care. We try to make sure that all patients on the primary care side are assigned to a primary care provider, so every time that person comes back to see a provider, they will see either the same provider or somebody from that team. And on a yearly basis, we provide care to approximately 350,000 people on the outpatient side. And the emergency services, we probably have one of the most busy emergency services in Brooklyn. So we see over 100,000 patients a year in our emergency services. And it's like I said, it's very, very busy, and it's relatively cramped because most people know about what our emergency services. So sometimes it gets crowded. So what we're doing at this point in time is actually expanding and renovating our emergency services, and we are in the process of doing that at this point in time. In addition, we have all of the diagnostic services. So we have radiology, X-rays, everything from X-rays, MRIs, CAT scans, nuclear medicine. We have all of the radiology services, all of the lab services. So we do, and all of the radiology services are available 24/7. The lab services, all available 24/7. We have pharmacy that's available again 24/7. And we have just expanded our pharmacy services, so now we're actually providing medication for folks Monday to Friday up to 8 p.m. and then Saturdays up to 8 p.m. also. And then Sundays we actually close, the outpatient pharmacy is actually closed. So we provide all as a one-stop shop, so you come and you get everything that you need, from your x-rays to your blood work to all of your services right there at Woodhull Hospital. We have probably one of the best dental departments, where we do not just dentistry, but oral and maxillofacial surgery. These folks do real complicated surgery. They restructure their faces and all of that stuff. We have ophthalmology services, again, probably one of the best in Brooklyn. We have women's health services, which we are known for. Again, all of those labor and delivery rooms were renovated a few years ago, and probably one of the best kept secrets in Brooklyn. And we deliver probably over 1,500 babies on a yearly basis. Yeah. Yes, it really has a good reputation for those services. So we do provide comprehensive services, and recently we have added some new services. So you may have heard, let's say within the last few weeks, we have been promoting our express care services. Again, because of the emergency services are very packed and compressed, and we have been trying to decongest the emergency room, so we have opened our express care, where we are trying to take on the folks who are true emergencies and try to see how we can expedite their care in another setting. So that service has been open since December, and we did have the ribbon cutting last week, and so far again, it's real. It has gotten real good reviews. In the express care, otherwise called urgent care, we're hoping to see patients within 1 hour, in and out within 1 hour. And again, it gives another alternative from patients overcrowding the emergency services. We also have New York City Cares, which is another program that just started, and that's really providing health insurance for all, for uninsured, regardless of immigration status. So folks who are undocumented and stuff, we give them the ability to have health insurance, and that program is now full-fledged. And just to because I know we have a big thing on the agenda, so let me just also say that Woodhull is one of the best kept secrets in Brooklyn, and we do perform well at all of the rating agencies, Health Grades and CMS the star rating, and Leapfrog. We probably are one of the best performing hospitals in Brooklyn, so we do perform better than most of the hospitals in Brooklyn. So we really, so that's why we keep saying that Woodhull is one of the best kept secrets, because people know about the reputation several years ago when it just started, when it was called Woodkill. But I would really encourage everyone at this point in time to come to Woodhull Hospital and feel confident that you can treat yourself and your family, because you will get excellent care. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Any questions, right? So we're going to move our agenda. I'm actually going to be introducing the second, thank you very much, Mr. Khalid. The second informational presentation, and the community board, we have an executive committee that meets a couple of weeks prior to these meetings to set the agenda. So at our last executive committee meeting, we had a presentation from the Office of Special Enforcement, and we felt that the information was important enough that we invited the executive director here. So he's in charge of the citywide Office of Special Enforcement. Now, the community board has gotten several complaints about home sharing. So Airbnb, right? And we felt that there was a lot of misinformation out there about what's legally allowed. We know that the penalties can be severe if you're not following what the laws are. So without further ado, I will bring up the Executive Director of the New York City Office of Special Enforcement, Mr. Christian Klossner.
Thank you to the community board, and to Mr. Butler for both having us to speak to the housing committee and also having us here tonight. With me is Lori August, who is the intake investigator from the Office of Special Enforcement. Just quickly, our office is a multi-agency task force. We're combined with staffing from the buildings department, fire department, police department, sheriff's, the law department, and a number of mayor's office employees. And the bulk of our work is on preventing illegal short-term rentals. I'm going to give the mic to Lori, who will walk you through our presentation. I apologize for those of you in the back to explain what is the law. I'll talk a little bit about our enforcement priorities, and I thought there was a Q&A, but I don't know how to time, so okay, so there's Q&A. I'll be in the hall for Q&A right afterwards.
Hi, good evening, everyone. My name is Lori August, as Christian had mentioned. I'm the intake investigator for the Mayor's Office of Special Enforcement. So I know Bed-Stuy is a hotspot. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
All right. So I know Bed-Stuy is a hotspot for illegal short-term rentals. There's a lot of 1, 2, 3 family homes in this neighborhood. So the law is pretty short and sweet. So if you are living in any one of these, New York City homes, and it is less than 30 days, and you as the homeowner and or tenant is not home in that unit with this guest or traveler, it is considered illegal under New York City law. So what makes this, how can you do a short-term rental that is legal? So if you're living in a 2-family home and you have 2 different separate floors, let's say you and your family live on 1 floor and you want to rent out the 2nd floor to a guest or a traveler, that is illegal. They have to be in the same unit as you, and all open flow areas have to be open to them. So think of it like these people are guests and they are travelers, but you have to look at them as if they are going to be an extension of your family, right? They have to have open access to everything that you have open access to as well. I know, freaks you out.
So when we were outside of the hall, I heard a promise that we would talk briefly about the fines. The fines can be very steep. If we find that there's an illegal short-term rental, there's a series of penalties that are applied, one for an illegal occupancy of the home, as well as violations for not having the appropriate safety features when you're having transient guests. We put up this chart, I apologize again, folks can't see it. The total fines you can see for a first offense started around $8,750. I don't want to do that to anybody. I much prefer that people know what the law is and choose not to engage in the activity. And then if we could go to the next slide. So is it on here? But I do want to talk about our OSC enforcement priorities because there are over 50,000 Airbnb listings. There are listings on other platforms. By no means do we have the resources to go after everyone who's engaged in the activity. So I want to highlight why we do actually show up. There are 3 categories of people that we're concerned about: commercial operators, dangerous operators, and disruptive operators. And what do those mean? Disruptive are the people who, does anyone here live next to an Airbnb? Okay, does it drive you crazy? Does anyone have problems like parties? Some people don't mind at all, right? But that's a good point. But some people are saying like, no, it disrupts me if people are having loud parties on a Wednesday, right? The people who aren't causing problems and drawing complaints, right? Those are people that we're probably not going to show up to, barring inclusion in the other 2 categories. The people who aren't causing complaints, you can call through, and Lori will talk about this a little bit. That's when we'll come out. Those are the disruptive operators, people who are sort of allowing activity that's inconsistent with what the neighborhood seeks. You as a neighbor have the right to ask for our help. The other categories are commercial operators and dangerous operators. These are people that maybe there's no complaint, but the activity is happening in a way that we think is harmful to the community, and we're going to take steps to address it. A commercial operator is someone who is taking a unit of housing away from the housing market. I know this is a neighborhood full of 1 and 2 family homes. That's a third of the city's rental stock, and about a third of that in the city is rentals. About 300,000 rental units in the city in 1 and 2 family homes. We need those homes for New Yorkers. We need those Bed-Stuy locations to be used for people in Bed-Stuy. What we don't need is for buildings, and I heard Daisy from Assemblymember Wright's office talking about legislation to control aggressive solicitation. What we don't need is folks coming in from out of the city, buying up the housing stock in Bed-Stuy and turning it into full-time hotels. That's not good for the community, it's not good for the housing stock, it's not what Bed-Stuy is not. And then dangerous operators. We see in these locations a number of very, very serious conditions, extreme occupancy problems, people in attics with no ventilation, people in the basement with no windows, doors locked where they can't get out, God forbid there's a fire. We've seen illegal plumbing, illegal gas hookups. We actually went to one place where people were locked in, they couldn't get out of the house, there was a gas leak. So people who are putting travelers and neighbors in those situations, those are also people that we're going to go out and try to address. So what does that mean? I know that this is an area where there are a lot of folks who are trying to make a little extra money. If it's in your primary residence where you live, and maybe you didn't go out of town, it may be illegal. If you're not in these first 2 categories and you're not drawing complaints, you shouldn't see us. If you get a complaint, we'll come. If you're taking a unit of housing off the market and putting people in harm's way, we'll come. So let me turn it back to Laura just to close out with what you can do if you do have one of these folks in the community that you want us to know about.
Okay, so how do you guys contact our office in order to let us know that these complaints are, these things are happening in your neighborhood? So the number one way I would like for you all to contact the office is always draw a complaint through 311. Once you do that, it is drawn to our office. So the key word you want to always say to 311, whether it is an operator or whether it is on the online form complaint, is you always want to say short-term rental. That way our office is pinged immediately and we get the complaint within a day or 2. Right? So the other way is you can always visit our website. The link is up here on the PowerPoint, and if the website has a lot of information that is helpful to everyone. And you can also draw or submit a complaint with our own web link as well. The tall tale signs to look out for is usually individuals who may have suitcases, rolling up and down the neighborhood. I know. So individuals who may have suitcases, maybe there are lock boxes somewhere, something that realtors use that are hung in places that are not supposed to be. These little signs are things that I've heard from the community that they've noticed. So if there's someone in your building, or if it's your next door neighbor and there are a group of guests showing up, a party of 12, you know the capacity of your neighborhood, or you know the capacity of your building, or maybe the unit that's across the hall from you. So I just would like for everyone to be cautious, because not everyone who's rolling around in a suitcase is a guest or a traveler, right? We don't want to call on our neighbors, relatives, or anything like that. But if these people are paying gas, they're disrupting the community in a way, right? So our team will go out. We have a team of 2 or 4 inspectors and/or officers. We have DOB on staff, FDNY on staff, and we also have the sheriff's office on staff. So you guys can call, they're plain clothes, their shields are out, they'll ask questions, you're more than welcome to answer those questions, or you can deny those to answer the questions. Either way, once they find it fit, they'll issue violations. It would always go to the building owner and or the homeowner. Does that say fit for a minute?
Okay, in case you missed it, one of the slides showed the fines top out at, I think, $57,000 per room, correct?
Per building after multiple offenses.
Okay, so because this is a very long meeting, we have 3 public hearings. We're going to take, if people have maybe about 3 questions. You can take questions. Yeah.
Over here.
Mike.
But he needs the mic back.
So we'll start over here. If you could please, when you start your question, give your name.
Hi.
Hello, Sarah. Hi.
Oh, I'm
So
sorry.
I would like to do short-term rentals in my building, okay? And I plan on doing it with a minimum of 30 days. But what I'm foreseeing here is you all swoop it down on me, and I'm doing it legitimately. And I can see this becoming a disaster for many of us who are following the rules of the law. So how do we prevent that? You know, I mean, and I think $57,000, that's pretty steep. Yeah, that's ridiculous.
I agree. I definitely don't want anyone to get $57,000 in fines. That's part of why I wanted to come explain the law, because there's been some confusion. I'd much rather engage in preventative actions than do that kind. And hopefully people, after one violation, they find out they're wrong, stop. So if you, so if you're following the law, if you're saying you're gonna have renters for 30 days, right? If you wanna do this legally, they have to be in your home for over 30 days. If they are illegal, and we know from data that we get from the companies through subpoenas, et cetera, through investigations, we have an idea, right? I'm not interested in even coming if we think it's a 30-day rental. If there's a complaint about it and we come out and you meet our team, say, all my guests are 30 days, right? Here's the evidence. They'll say, thank you very much, and they'll leave. That's not what happens. You got our number, 646-576-3533.
Okay, we have to go to another question, yes. You know, what's your name?
Oh, can I, okay. You know, I think the city has better use of their resources. What we're seeing here. You know, the New York City Housing Authority has violations that have not been addressed yet, but yet you guys have time to come out to people's private homes.
Yes.
Yes. Stupid question.
Yes.
People that are trying to make money. You know, so, you know, I think there's better, more efficient use of your time. You know, if people are having parties, if there's an issue with noise, it's not your office. There are other city agencies that deal with these issues. I think you guys should be more focused on the city housing authority and trying to fix that problem, instead of wasting time and energy.
Are there any other questions?
Anybody over here? Anybody over here? Okay.
What's the number?
646-576-3533.
And do you have any of the pamphlets out?
Well, we did, and then we went back out to get the schedule and snatched up like hotcakes. Here's some.
Oh, okay.
Right here. And then we'll make sure that the community board has more for future meetings.
We have one last question.
Hi, Sloan Pratt. You did mention that going out to a single-family home, you would ask, are any of the guests here for 30 days? If not, you would leave. But you also mentioned that they have to have access to everything, meaning that they have to be in your unit, so basically sleeping on your sofa, as well as no locked doors. So are you also checking for all those stipulations as well?
If the guests or the owners give us access to the building, we will check for safety features. We definitely want to make sure that if people are staying in, that they know about those. If we don't have permission, we don't go.
Thank you very much, Mr. Costa. Will you be here for a few minutes?
I'll be happy to. I'll stay out. I'll be out in the hallway for a little bit so that I don't disrupt the proceedings.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us. Thank you all for the patience and questions.
So we're going to move to our next informational presentation, introduction. Will be coming from the chair of the Parks, Art, and Culture Committee, Mr. Marion Levin.
Good evening, everyone. How everyone doing tonight? Is Ms. Seymour Corrington here tonight? Okay.
How you doing, sir?
Seymour. Okay. Presentation by Coltep School of African Dance and the 10th anniversary celebration of Juneteenth by Seymour Corrington.
Thank you. I'm the co-founder and the director of Caltech School of African Dance and African Dance Company. And we are a community-based organization, arts organization. We have been in the community for 29 years. And we are celebrating our 10th annual Juneteenth celebration right here in the heart of Brooklyn in Restoration Plaza. So Juneteenth is the oldest celebration of the abolition of slavery in the United States. And it started in Galveston, Texas in 1865. But for over a century, there has been minimum celebration of Juneteenth. But a lot of it has happened that way because there has been systemic, it's been systemically erased. And part of that has come about because it's been very difficult celebrating freedom when your life is defined by oppression. In addition, there have been many problems with even being able to use public parks because of state laws that had to do with segregation. And at the turn of the century, we had even more problems that came through political and economical forces that also contributed to not being able to celebrate. We had the southern states that used to be Confederate states. They added laws, amendments, and changed the constitutions of the states so that they effectively caused the disenfranchisement of Black people. In addition, there were the Jim Crow laws, which imposed second-class status to our people. And then you had the Great Depression, which caused many of our people to have to move from the country from the farmlands into the cities. And it was very difficult to celebrate Juneteenth there because you couldn't get off from work. But the Poor People's March on Washington, it opened the door. It was organized by Reverend Martin Luther King, and he actually coordinated so that it came at the same time as Juneteenth. And that kind of brought a rebirth to Juneteenth. So the actual day of Juneteenth is June 19th. And the purpose of Juneteenth is a celebration, but it's a time to reflect upon the past, pay attention and evaluate the present and our circumstances in the present, and to plan for the future. So CalTEP's Juneteenth celebration, we are a Bedford-Stuyvesant born organization. And so Bedford-Stuyvesant is very important to us. And our goal for Juneteenth is to preserve the traditions of African diaspora people, of the long-term residents of our community who have fought from the very time this community was born in 1836, starting with Weeksville, which at that time was a part of Bed-Stuy. And we have been working hard to sustain our community, even during times when our community was abandoned by the city. But our goal is to preserve those African diaspora traditions and also to be able to share them with those people that are coming into the community who have less familiarity so that there can be a better balance in terms of the relationship between the dynamics of everybody. So we have a free celebration. Everything is free to the public. We have, our Juneteenth is a pre-Juneteenth celebration. It will be held prior to Juneteenth on June 6th. And it's a fun-filled day, everything free to the public. We have an African marketplace to promote cooperative economics and empower our merchants. We have a health and wellness expo. And a part of that health and wellness expo is going to be centered on the well-being of senior citizens. We have a alcohol-free sip and paint. We have a seated yoga class. We have free screenings such as screenings for diabetes, high blood pressure checks and other kinds of screenings. We have a children's zone for our children. We have community dance classes for people of all ages, regardless of your skills. We have classes throughout the day. We have a public performance in on the West Plaza, where we have professionals that are from our community who are able to perform and give back to the community. We also culminate with an outdoor dynamic house party. And we have a short clip that is a snapshot of our Juneteenth, and we're asking that everybody come out and enjoy Juneteenth. We have flyers outside. Everything is free to the public. It's all about remembering who we are, evaluating ourselves right now to see where we need to go, and making a plan for the future.
It's all about community. Our message for this Juneteenth is about community. As we looked at our past, now we assess our present. And next, what we need to do is figure out how do we survive in this modern day and age, and how do we try to hold on to our community also, which is our lifeblood. Go in and support our vendors. Please go inside and support our vendors. We are talking about economic empowerment. They are here. Please support them. Enjoy the music, enjoy the dance, enjoy the vendors, and please take the information away with you.
Blocking our view.
So come out and enjoy, come out and support, come out and enjoy.
Right, so this is one of the dancers as well. She's been dancing for a long time. Thank you. We're gonna move on to our public hearings. We have 3 public hearings. First is coming from the Transportation, Sanitation, and Environment Committee, and the introduction will be given by the chair, Mr. Gregory Glasgow.
Good evening, everyone. Today, we're going to have a presentation from the Department of Transportation concerning the bus lane and proposing for Malcolm X between Chauncey and Oak Street. This is the second part of improvements that they've made, because when it previously came to us months ago, we voted and put in a bus lane next to Boys and Girls High School. The space there was previously for teachers and was not being utilized because teachers had parking behind the school. So now they're proposing to extend the bus lane onto Malcolm X from Chauncey to Fulton Street. So we have a presentation that will show the impact of the improvements that were made and the changes that they are proposing and that we will vote on tonight. We'll start the presentation. And we have Leroy from the Department of Transportation. I can't remember his last name.
Grant. Leroy Grant from the Department of Transportation. Good evening, everyone. I'm not gonna spend too much time up here because I know you have a long agenda. So just as was stated that this is the second part of the bus lane, which we came to you, and this board was the one who asked us to hold off on the second part until the articulated buses started down Malcolm X. So we did that, and we want to implement the second part of this project. So we wanted to come back to you and let you know what we're doing there. So I'm going to ask Ryan Feller to come up and talk about the project that we're having now.
Thank you so much, Leroy. Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for your time. We greatly appreciate it. All right, I'm going to do my best to not go over. Okay, so as I mentioned, we're from DOT. We also have MTA here. And this is our second time at this board since last year. So specifically, we're talking about Malcolm X Boulevard and Utica Avenue, the B46 bus. So I'll begin by talking about why this is such a critical route for public transit in Brooklyn. And of course, we're familiar with these streets, but Malcolm X and Utica, the B46 bus, is the busiest bus route in the entire borough of Brooklyn. Number one, 38,000 passengers every day. And because it's such a critical route, we've upgraded it. We upgraded it to select bus service in 2016. We've added bus lanes further south in Crown Heights and in Flatbush. And additionally, we have upgraded the select buses on the route. This past January are now the extra long accordion-style articulated buses. And citywide, we're looking to improve bus service. We know that buses often are too slow. They come two at a time or three at a time instead of at even intervals the way they're supposed to. And they're getting slow over time in some cases as well. So we know we can do better, and we know we have a duty to do better. So that's why we're here. We're adding bus lanes and other tools, smart traffic lights, things like that, where they make sense. We're also looking at routes we've upgraded in the past to see if we can make them better, which is what we're doing on this route. And it is a citywide priority location because of the high ridership and the slow bus speeds. So I'll quickly recap through our 2019 project that I was here presenting last year. The concern we're looking to address is Atlantic Avenue, because it is such a critical street, it has lots of lanes of traffic, it's a regional route, it needs more green time to keep that traffic moving at that traffic light. So because Atlantic has more green time, Utica has less green time, and therefore traffic backs up. And anyone who's been over here can see it any time of day practically, that traffic backs up all the way north to Fulton and beyond. And the bus speeds were slower than walking speeds. Buses full of people moving slower than they could walk. So what we did, we came here last year, and with CB3's blessing, we went ahead and implemented this one block of bus lane from Fulton to Atlantic. And I'm happy to report that it has double bus speeds in the afternoons. The bus is now twice as fast going southbound. And in the morning, it is more than 50% faster as well. So that's a big success for us. We're really happy about it. However, it only solves the problem on that one block. It doesn't solve problems elsewhere along the route. And that brings us to our additional proposal, building off that success for this year. So looking one block north from Fulton Street up to Chauncey Street. So in the again, only in the southbound direction, which is the most critical direction, approaching Atlantic, approaching that bottleneck at Atlantic Avenue. So half of this block from Chauncey to Fulton is already the bus stop, and this is the bus stop where you catch the local, the select, to get to the A train, the C train, the B25 Fulton Street bus, Boys and Girls High School. It's a major stop, one of the busiest, highest ridership bus stops in Brooklyn, in fact. And this photograph, I took this a couple weeks ago. You can see this any afternoon, and this is the problem, is that you have a few cars waiting for that light to turn green, or caught in traffic from multiple traffic signals sometimes, or multiple lights. And you have all these folks waiting to catch the bus, who are waiting and can't get on, as well as all the folks who are already on the bus, who've gotten on the bus further north, and are waiting. The number of folks getting on or off or riding through southbound is 9,700 a day. These buses fill up all day long. So the south half of the block is a bus stop. The north half is parking, and we know that parking is at a premium all over the city. We take it very seriously. It's 9 legal parking spaces on this block. 9. It's alternate side parking, and we watched the camera for 12 hours on a normal weekday and found that 19 vehicles use that block. It's certainly useful for the folks who park there, but it's a relatively small number of folks, 19 vehicles on a given weekday. So what we're proposing is 1 block of additional curbside bus lane in the southbound direction only. This would help the bus get to the stop. And it's especially important for folks who are trying to board the bus or get off the bus who use wheelchairs or walkers or strollers or shopping carts who need to use the wheelchair ramp. If the bus can't get to the curb, they cannot deploy that wheelchair ramp properly. So we want to make sure that that bus can get right up to the curb, do what it needs to do, let folks on and off safely, quickly, efficiently, and get folks where they're trying to go. This bus lane would be active only during the daytime hours, just like the bus lane we put in last year. So for folks who live nearby and want to park, overnight parking would remain. And of course, the northbound parking would stay the same as well on that block. And then this is just the next steps. As you know, we were here last year. This little project began in 2018 for us. We've done public outreach. We've met with Boys and Girls High School. We're here to collect your feedback, hear your thoughts. We want to hear what you think. And with CB3 support, we would like to implement this spring and get this finished and get folks ready to go faster. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you. So at this point, we'll take questions from community board members or members of the public.
Babatunde Akwe, board member. I see that the projected bus stop is right by Jackie Robinson, that housing development. Have you spoken to tenants in that and residents about this projected project?
So we have not. We don't typically go door to door. I will say, however, and I have the slide that discusses this.
It's not door to door. It's a huge development of people who live there.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I can tell you that in 2018, when this project began, the DOT had a very large, all summer long outreach initiative. So you see that photograph up there. We said
to the people in Jackson Rock.
We specifically were at that corner. We're at the corner of Fulton and Utica talking to folks. Thank you.
Okay, any other questions? No other questions?
Just really quickly, thank you for your presentation, it's very informative.
What's your name?
Leah. Could you just clearly articulate what the violations would be, the warning period, what the ticket would be, and all that?
Mm-hmm. Are you familiar with this? I can speak a little bit about it. Sure. So the way that this works is the bus lane would be camera enforced, and that's just to make sure folks don't park in it. In New York City, any vehicle can use a bus lane at any time to do a few different things. To make the next right turn, to get into a driveway, to quickly pick up or drop off a passenger, as well. Also, other school buses can use it, and emergency vehicles can use it as well. So the camera's there to make sure that folks are not parking there for long periods of time, blocking the bus. We also, whenever we put up a camera, it only gives out warning for the first 60 days. Warnings only, and that will be a written warning that goes to the address of the license plate holder that comes with no fine. After 60 days, there is a fine. I do not know that number offhand, and I apologize for that. It's a total different part of DOT, but I will say that it's about 90% of folks who do receive a warning or a fine don't do it again. The goal here is just to make sure the bus can move.
Any other questions? Okay, if not,
Just one more thing, the parking spaces would still be available from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. So it would operate just like the bus lanes on those canals.
That is correct. It would be available overnight for parking.
It's $50 a month. $50 if you report on that.
okay, if there are no other questions, I'm going to close the public hearing. We have another public hearing, so thank you very much. We'll be taking the vote a little while later. So we have Two additional public hearings.
No doubt, see.
Comments from the Economic Development Committee. Is Mr. Taiwan Anthony here? Okay, so the chair of the Economic Development Committee, Mr. Taiwan Anthony, will be introducing the next public hearing.
Good evening, everyone. So on the agenda, this evening, we have our first SOA presentation from the Economic Development Committee, alcohol beverage control license application for Cafe Bouchard. Said that correctly, they're located at 415 Class Avenue, and that's on the corner of Lexington Avenue. Is Cafe Bouchard here this evening? Again, is Cafe Bouchard here this evening? All right, so we'll move on to the next one. All right, so moving on to the next presentation. Coming out of the Economic Development Committee, again, we have an alcohol beverage control license application for 20,000 Road. So they'll be doing business as Dianco, located at 1112 Bedford Avenue between Quincy and Lexington. 20,000 Roads, are they here this evening? Okay, so we have two no-shows, right?
Okay, Mr. Butler here. I need the card for the community announcement. Okay. Okay, maybe while we're waiting, we'll do a roll call.
Stacey Robinson, Secretary for Community Board 3. Are you ready for roll call? Yes. All right. Babatunde Agwe. Felicia Alexander is excused. Taiwan Anthony. Monique Antoine and Dr. Kim Best are excused. Lillian Bowman. Anthony Luzarek. Michael Catlin. Vanessa Clark. Vanessa Clark. Ivy Gamble Cobb is excused for this meeting. Evelyn Collier. Pastor Gwendolyn Dingle. Taina Evans. Here. Mark Abu Patel. Richard Plateau. Here. Sharon Forbes. Here. Keith Forrest. Here. Gregory Glasgow. He is still here, right? Okay. Sheila Neufeld. Here. Mary Jameson Head. Abby Robinson Hobson. Omar Holloway. Here. Everett Hughes. Present. Victor Iro. Present. Keisha Jerriman. Present. Edna Johnson. Dr. Curly Johnson is excused for this meeting. Dr. Deborah Lamb. Present. Lisa Lewis. Present. Mary Little. Here. Cardi Joe Long is excused for this meeting, as well as W. Matthews. Kenneth Mbono. Present. Ellen Miller. Here. Melissa Plowden Norman. Present. Satina Payton. Present. C. Doris Penn. Here. Simone Pratt. I'm here. Karen Rao. Present. Carolyn Richburg. Present. Wendy Robinson. Present. Stacy Ruffin. Present. Suzette Shepherd. Jamela Swift. Here. Chinyalu Udo and Alicia Walton are excused for this meeting. Reverend Dr. Robert Waterman.
Present.
Doug Williams.
Present.
And TJ Wilson.
Anybody here who didn't have the name called? Okay, so we're gonna go back to the community announcements. If you could please keep your comments, or announcements in 2 minutes. Paula Jones here. Paula Jones. Okay, followed by Nicholas Stevens. Ian Hansen here. Michelle Johnson.
Good evening, everyone. I'm a volunteer with the USC Action Program, which is a high school enrichment program run through the NAACP. We just started launching our program last week. And we're looking for high schoolers as well as any other volunteers that want to participate with our program. We meet at Wingate Campus at 600 Kingston Avenue between Rutland and Winthrop, usually from 9 to 12. So our next outreach will be on Saturday. Saturday, March 7th, and the next one after that is March 14th. I left flyers out there in case anybody wants to read it. If not, you can go on the website of Axel Program, www.actso.org, which stands for, what did I write? Afro Academic Cultural Technology Science Olympics of Mind, which was started by Berta Jarrett 34 years ago. So we hope anybody can outreach to the youth, the kids, and to yourself. You have some skills that you can provide for the kids. We welcome you all. Thank you. 600 Kingston Avenue, the Wingate, George Wingate campus, I call it. Right here. George, here, the old high school. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Ms. Jones. Is Michelle Johnson here? Donette Shaw. Valerie Johnson. Press your way here. Yeah. Okay, followed by is Vanessa Bedford. Ian Cox.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Valerie Johnson. This is my sister, Genevieve Johnson. And we are among the founding board members of the Marcy Houses Scholarship Fund, Marcy Houses Memorial Scholarship Fund. And you might say, well, what do you guys have to do with the Marcy Houses? Well, back in 1949, our parents were some of the first to move into the Marcy. As a matter of fact, when they moved into their apartment at 123 Nostrand Avenue, they were the first to live in that apartment. Well, as their family grew to have 10 children, we then moved to 101 Nostrand Avenue, where the housing authority broke down 2 apartments because there were now 10 kids and 2 parents. And we think we were probably the first family they did that for. But in 1967, just as Jen and I were, young teenagers, we started to get ourselves in a bit of trouble, and our parents thought, we gotta get our kids out of here. And so they purchased a home on Decatur Street. But we just never lost our love for the Marcy. You can imagine that if 8 or 10 kids in one family go outside, we got a team, we're just ready. So I retired recently, Genevieve is about to retire, and with some other family members, we formed a 501c3. We're a working board. At this point, we don't have any paid employees. We're doing it all ourselves. We're putting our own money up. We're also reaching out to our personal contacts. We've applied to the city council for discretionary funding. We've already been pre-cleared by the city's Office of Clearance. So we feel like we're doing a good thing. We're about to do some crowdfunding. We're feeling really proud. If any of you know of anyone who's willing to contribute, please let me know. But the big thing is, who are we trying to really serve? Who do we want to impact? And we decided, we're a small scholarship fund. We decided to target high school seniors who live in the Marcy right now. So we don't have a grade point requirement. We just need students who live in the Marcy, who are seniors, who this fall are planning to attend either a 2-year or 4-year college or a vocational or a trade school. So we've reached out to the Housing Authority. They've actually posted us on their Opportunity Reach website. They've given us a point person who's putting up flyers in the development. We've been around to the schools in the area, and we're going to continue that. So really the point of us being here tonight is just for the exposure. We want the community board to know what we're about, that there's this new scholarship opportunity. If you know of any students who qualify, that is, they live in the Marcy, they are seniors, and in the fall they're going to be doing something positive, please let them know. Our website is www.marcyscholarship.org. There are flyers out on the table, and that's it.
Thank you. This sister deserves an award. When I was coming down here, I saw her walking down the stairs with her crutches. And she was really determined to get to the stairs. She stuck it out to the end. Let's give her a hand. Is Ian Cox here? Okay. So we're finished with our announcement. So the attendance is 36 present, 13 absent. There's one unfilled seat, so we have a quorum. Okay, we're gonna move on to committee updates and resolutions. Committee updates and resolutions, please. Committee chairs, you want to move this meeting along? Okay, committee chairs have any announcements?
Okay, the Transportation, Sanitation, and Environment Committee will be having its meeting next Tuesday at 6:30 in the board office. We will have DOT there to talk about some other safety changes they've made. Particularly, we'll be talking about Myrtle and Broadway. So if you're interested in making crossing in this district safer, come to the Transportation, Sanitation, and Environment Committee next Tuesday, 6:30 in the boardroom.
Good evening, everyone. The Economic Development Committee will be meeting this Thursday, and it will meet every first Thursday of the month at the community board. We're inviting you to come to that meeting and be a part of the Economic Development Committee. In addition, we are also the co-sponsors of the Bedside Bushwick Small Business Roundtable Forum. How many small business owners are there? Okay, you want to come to this meeting. It takes place on Wednesday, this coming Wednesday, the 4th at Brooklyn Commons, which is located at 7 Marcus Garvey Boulevard. Well, it's being hosted by the Brooklyn Borough President, and he just wants to know what keeps you up at night. So if you have any grievances of the laws that are changing or anything of that nature, we welcome you to come to this meeting. It starts at 6 o'clock at Brooklyn Commons, located at 7 Marcus Garvey Boulevard. Hope to see you there.
Thank you, Mr. Clark. Any other committee updates?
Give it a mark.
Hi, good evening, everyone. It's that time of year again. We have Bedside's Best for 2020. This is an opportunity for us to nominate the best principals, teachers, parent leaders, support staff, security team in the schools that are in Community Board 3. The nomination link is live today. You have until April 7th to make your nomination. We will have a separate flyer that is specifically for students who can be nominated for some cash awards. We will host it this year differently. It will be on May 29th, which is actually a Friday. And we want to make sure that it's an invite only. We will announce all the winners. But we are taking nominations on, until April 7th. From then, the committee, which we will meet the second Thursday of the month, second Thursday at 7 p.m. We will go through, pick the top nominees, and then there will be the voting, very democratic process, for the community to vote for the best principals, the best teachers, the best parent leaders. So please get the word out. We will see it posted. We will have prep material. We want as many nominees as possible. And it's a great time, and we hope the community board members will come out. Did I cover everything, committee? So please, and look for the student flyer. And I know that you heard SYP went live today. So please make sure that word gets out, that we have as many young people as possible apply for SYP this year. If you'd like to come to our meeting's on Thursdays at 7 p.m. in the community board office. Second Thursday of the month at 7 p.m.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, I'm sorry, my committee is the Education and Youth Committee, and I'm on the hallway.
I would follow the chair of the landmark committee, make a resolution for to support on. The first, Melissa is on our landmark committee, and she wanted to make an announcement about that she's having, that, is the landmark.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Melissa Stuyvesant, and I'm making an announcement about Stuyvesant East, landmark and meet and greet that I'm going to be having on Sunday, March 29th from 3 to 6 p.m. at Uncle Fred's. That's on Ralph and the corner of Decatur. Flyers are outside, so anyone that lives Malcolm X back going towards Saratoga, we are going to be meeting around landmark. There's not a lot of landmarking on that end, and that's something that we need to get started on. So we're going to come together so we can start talking about it. Thank you.
I have a resolution, it's in reference to, asking LPC, Landmark Preservation Commission, to designate 227 Duffield Street. That's between Fulton Street and Willoughby Avenue, downtown Brooklyn. This is, they call it Abolition Road, Abolition Place, I'm sorry. And it's where the Underground Railroad, that's what they considered that it was at that time, back in 1800. So, the Brooklyn Community Board 3, Landmark and Preservation Committee, feels very strongly about the slated demolition of the historic building located in downtown Brooklyn, 227 Duffield Street, also known as Abolitionist Place. This historic two-story red brick house is where abolitionists Thomas and Harriet Truesdale lived from 1851 to 1863. According to documentation, William Lloyd Garrison, an abolitionist writer and newspaperman, was a friend and frequent guest in the Truesdale home at 227 Duffield Street, that's in Brooklyn, New York. They were all part of the Underground Railroad and the mid-19th century abolitionist movement. In 2007, community advocates, preservationists, and previous building owner known as Mama Joyce, her name was Joyce Chattel, and City Council Member Charles Barron, and former council member and New York State Attorney General, she was then a council member, Letitia James. They swept the city of New York to protect this property from eminent domain. The city's original intent was to build a long-planned Willoughby Square Park
to honor the abolitionist history with a permanent memorial that highlights the Underground Railroad and its significance in Brooklyn. This area is what was and is considered a hotbed of the Underground Railroad. Currently, the present owner, the developer, states that he took advantage of the financial hardship of the previous owner and bought this property at a price below market value. Currently, the developer has filed a to demolish this building and build a 13-story mixed-use commercial and residential building. The developer indicates that they will include a museum in the basement of the new building. This is the last surviving pre-Civil War important abolitionist home. It's very surely needed to be saved from being destroyed by the developer or the city of New York. This building should be preserved as an individual landmark. Preservation of this last standing building will be a part of the African American continuous legacy. Securing African American history sites in Brooklyn reflected to such a significant period in time is vital. The community at large and many others across the borough of Brooklyn and beyond understand that this house was used as part of the Underground Railroad, which helped runaway slaves have a place of safety. They used this Underground Railroad stop as a safe haven so they could travel north to Canada. The CB3 Landmark and Preservation Committee supports the many advocacy groups such as Historic District Council, Baptiste Bond Organization, the Circle of Justice Innovation, Michael Higgins Jr., and organizer at the Family United for Racial Economic Equality. We support Council Member Steve Levin, Joanne Simmons, and Representative Nadia Velasquez in their effort to preserve this historic property. Duffel Street between Fulton and Willoughby Street is currently dubbed by the city as abolitionist place to honor those who once shepherded slaves through the Underground Railroad. The oral history documented and gathered by the city in 2007 includes story of escaped slaves who sought refuge there in the tunnel that still exists. The freedom seekers would look for kerosene lamps placed in the back windows to let them know they were welcome, that this was a safe house. The previous owner, George Chaptal, fought to save his property for many years before her death in 2014. She felt very strongly and passionately about this building. She knew from the stories told to her that this was a very significant house and that it was definitely used as part of the Underground Railroad. We asked the CB3 full board to support the resolution to be sent to Landmark Preservation Commission seeking designation and non-desecration for 227 Duffel Street, Brooklyn, New York. Thank you.
So, board members, you heard the recommendation from the chair of the Landmark Committee. Oh, yeah, is there a motion on the recommendation? Yes. Second. It was moved by Anita Evans, who was over here. That is Doug Williams. Doug, seconded by Doug Williams. Any discussion on the motion? And the motion is to support the recommendation of the chair. Okay, any discussion? Okay, I'll call, yes.
Yeah, I just wanted to say.
Could you speak into the mic?
Well, I just wanted to say that I worked downtown for the Metro Tech bid back in the early 2000s and knew Joy, and she was a strong supporter of trying to make it a historic landmark. And also, when you look at downtown Brooklyn, it was the original place of Bridge Street Church before it moved up here. So there are other buildings in downtown on that same block where they moved another house that was a part of the whole Underground Railroad. So this was the only property that was black owned. So that if we're going to vote for it, we should vote to try to restore and hold on to something that was black owned.
Okay, so I think there's a correction here.
Yeah, I'd like to make a correction. Joanne Simmons, I called her name, she's a Assemblywoman, Joanne Simmons. Joanne Simmons.
Okay. All right, so there's a motion, it's been seconded, there's no further questions, call the question, have a vote.
Babatunde Akole,
Affirmative.
Taiwan Anthony, Lily Bowman. You said yes, Ms. Lewis? Okay, thank you. Anthony Buzarek, Michael Kaplan, Evelyn Collier, Pastor Gwendolyn Dingle, Tainina Evans, Richard Plateau,
Yes.
Sharon Forbes, Keith Forrest, Greg Glasgow,
Yes.
Sheila Greenfield, Mary Jamison Head, Abby Robinson Hobson, Oma Holloway, Everett Hughes, Victor Iro,
Yes.
Keisha Jerriman, Evan Johnson, Dr. Deborah Lamb, Lisa Lewis, Mary Little,
Yes.
Kenneth Bono,
Yes.
Ellen Miller, Melissa Platter Norman, Satina Payton, C. Doris Penn, Simone Pratt, Karen Rao, Carolyn Richburg, Wendy Robinson, Stacy Ruffin, yes. Jamela Swift, Reverend Dr. Robert Waterman, Doug Williams.
Yes.
Okay, are there any other committee updates or resolutions? Okay, if not, we're gonna move to action on the public hearing. So, to give the recommendation on the presentation from the Department of Transportation, I'm gonna call up the chair of the Transportation, Sanitation, and Environment Committee, Gregory Russell.
Yes. In terms of the information, public hearing on
Mike's not on.
In terms of the Transportation, Sanitation, and Environment Committee, the presentation by the Department of Transportation, we are in support of creating an additional bus lane on Malcolm X between Chauncey Street and Fulton Street. So we are supporting.
Okay, is there a motion on the recommendation? Moved by Edward Johnson, is there a second on the motion? Second by Doug Williams. Any discussion on the motion?
No, we just think that this is a good thing to do, because again, if someone's been traveling and they go to Utica in the morning, they see the trouble that the bus has trying to get to the bus stop. So removing those 9 spaces along Malcolm X going to Chauncey will allow the bus to come right up to the bus stop once it passes Chauncey, and we feel that it will benefit the whole community.
Any other discussion on the motion? Okay, I'll call the question.
Babatunde Akole,
No.
Taiwan Anthony,
No.
Lily Bowman, Anthony Buzarek, Michael Catlin,
Yes.
Evelyn Collier, Pastor Gwendolyn Dingle, Tainina Evans, Richard Plateau,
Yes.
Sharon Forbes, Keith Forrest, Greg Glasgow,
Yes.
Sheila Greenfield,
Yes.
Mary Jamison Head. I'm sorry, who said? Abby Robinson Hobson. Oma Holloway,
Yes.
Everett Hughes,
Yes.
Victor Iro,
Yes.
Keisha Jerriman, Evan Johnson, Dr. Deborah Lamb, Lisa Lewis, Mary Little, Kenneth Bono,
Yes.
Ellen Miller, Melissa Platter Norman,
Yes.
Satina Payton,
No.
C. Doris Penn, Simone Pratt, Karen Rao, Carolyn Richburg, Wendy Robinson, Stacy Ruffin, yes. Jamela Swift, Reverend Dr. Robert Waterman,
Yes.
Doug Williams.
Okay, so we have, additional action on the two hearings that were not held. And, I know, Mr. Anthony, you ready for a recommendation?
So the first application we have, which is the alcohol beverage control license application for Cafe du Jour, located at 415 Classen Avenue, on the corner of Lexington Avenue. The committee recommends a letter of non-support due to the fact that it did not show.
Okay, is there a motion on? Motion to accept. Moved by Doug Williams, who was the second?
I'm sorry.
Lisa Lewis seconded the motion. Any discussion on the motion? Okay, call the question.
Babatunde Akaway.
Yes.
Taiwan Anthony.
Yes.
Lily Bowman. Anthony Buzarek. Michael Catlin.
Yes.
Evelyn Collier. Yes. Pastor Gwendolyn Dingle. Taina Evans. Richard Plateau.
Yes.
Sharon Forbes. Keith Forrest. Greg Glasgow.
Yes.
Shea Greenfield. Mary Jameson Head. Is that a yes? Okay, thank you. Oma Holloway.
Yes.
I'm sorry, Abby, I just skipped you, I'm sorry. Abby Robinson Hobson.
Yes.
Oma Holloway.
Yes.
Everett Hughes.
Yes.
Victor Iro.
Yes.
Keisha Jernigan.
Yes.
Evan Johnson.
Yes.
Dr. Deborah Lamb.
Yes.
Lisa Lewis.
Yes.
Mary Little.
Yes.
Kenneth Bono. Ellen Miller.
Yes.
Melissa Plowden Norman.
Yes.
Satina Payton.
Yes.
C. Doris Penn.
Yes.
Simone Pratt.
Yes.
Karen Rao. Carolyn Richburg. Wendy Robinson.
Yes.
Stacy Ruffin. Yes. Jamila Swift.
Yes.
Reverend Dr. Robert Waterman.
Yes to the no?
Yes, that's right. Thank you. Doug Williams?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, we're gonna take our last, action on public hearing on regarding 20,000 rows of recommendation we given by Mr. Taiwan Anthony, Chair of the Economic Development.
So for the next and last, late applicant, alcohol beverage control license application for 20,000 rows located at 1112 Bedford Avenue, between Quincy and Lexington. The committee recommends a letter of non-support due to the fact that it did not show.
Okay, you heard the recommendation from Mr. Anthony, is there a motion on his recommendation? Moved by Gregory Glasgow, seconded by Edna Johnson. Any discussion on the motion? Okay, call the question.
Babatunde Akaway. Taiwan Anthony. Lily Bowman. Anthony Buzarek. Michael Catlin.
Yes.
Evelyn Collier. Pastor Gwendolyn Dingle. Richard Plateau.
Yes.
I'm sorry, Taina Evans. Sorry, Taina. Richard Plateau.
Yes.
Sharon Forbes. Keith Forrest. Greg Glasgow.
Yes.
Shea Greenfield. Mary Jameson Head. Abby Robinson Hobson. Oma Holloway.
Yes.
Everett Hughes.
Yes.
Victor Iro.
Yes.
Keisha Jernigan.
Yes.
Evan Johnson.
Yes.
Dr. Deborah Lamb.
Yes.
Lisa Lewis.
Yes.
Mary Little.
Yes.
Kenneth Bono. Ellen Miller.
Yes.
Melissa Plowden Norman. Melissa Plowden Norman. Satina Payton.
Yes.
C. Doris Penn. Simone Pratt.
Yes.
Karen Rao. Carolyn Richburg. Wendy Robinson.
Yes.
Stacy Ruffin. Yes. Jamila Swift.
Yes.
Reverend Dr. Robert Waterman.
Yes to the no?
Doug Williams.
Yes.
Thank you. Melissa Plowden Norman.
Okay, I have a very short chairperson's report, just for those board members that came in late. The meeting next month, again, will be the Brooklyn Job Corps, that's at DeKalb Avenue, Nostrand Avenue, that's April 6th. Also, for those of you who are members of the Personnel Committee, next Personnel Committee meeting will be March 18th at 6 p.m. Finally, if any board members have signed up for any education and training, if you have any additional questions, contact the board office. So, okay, so the votes. So we have, regarding the Department of Transportation request for bicycling, request for letter of support for the proposed bus lane on the west side of Malcolm X Boulevard between Chauncey and Fulton. The vote for a letter of support was 32 in favor, 3 against, 1 abstention. The motion carries. Regarding Cafe du Jour, the vote was for 9 support, 36 in favor, 0 opposed. They will be getting a letter of non-support. Regarding 20,000 roads, the recommendation was for non-support. The vote was 35 in favor, 0 against. And finally, regarding the request, please, the over a minute, request for a historic designation of 227 Duffield Street. The the recommendation was for a letter of support. The vote was 36 in favor and 0 opposed. Last thing we have to do is acceptance of the February 3rd, 2020 minutes. Is there a motion to accept? So, William, seconded by Gregory Glasgow. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Is there a motion for adjournment? Meetings adjourned.
Everyone, if you haven't already, fill out your blue black card on the table.